Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've been watching Canelo for a long time, so I got a good game plan for him. But if Munguia is able to do that, and it's going to be a tough fight.
David Benavidez has made a public ridicule of his old rival, Canelo Alvarez, and has even tipped Munguia for a victory.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight. Munguia, he's a strong fighter. He's a combination puncher. And if you see the fighters that give Canelo problems are the combination punchers.
Many feel Benavidez is bitter, but he's willing to give Canelo all the bitterness he has made him face after denying him of a fight for years. Benavidez trashed Canelo's training and claimed he'd get his head ripped if he got into the ring that way. To David Benavidez, his situation with Canelo Alvarez has become a situation of, if you can't fight him, you mock him. And really, there's very little blame one can put on David Benavidez, having been countlessly frustrated for many years over a fight with Canelo Alvarez that is yet to hold even after several years of speculations.
Reminder, let everybody know who the fuck the real champion is. That's what 68 is. Now just give me the fight that we all want to see. Who wants to see David Benavidez versus Canelo? That's who you guys want to see?
And now, he has come after Canelo Alvarez as he prepares for his fight against fellow Mexican Munguia in a few days. Pound for pound superstar Canelo Alvarez will return to action on Saturday, the 4th of May, 2024, taking on a fellow Mexican for the first time in 7 years, with some very interesting fights in the undercard as well. Canelo lost out to Dimitri Bivol when he jumped up to challenge for the light heavyweight title in 2022, and although he has won all 3 of his bouts since, the trifecta of unanimous decision victories was met with criticism from some fans, who believe he should have been capable of stopping one of, if not all of Gennady Golovkin, John Ryder, and Jermell Charlo. However, Alvarez will now face undefeated countryman Munguia, who proved that he is capable of testing the undisputed super middleweight champion by doing what Canelo couldn't and knocking out Ryder back in January. Canelo has fought 64 fights in his career, winning 60, losing 2, and having 2 draws as well. Munguia, the 27-year-old Mexican fighter with an amazing 43 wins in 43 fights, would be fighting what will be the biggest fight of his career. The contest looks set to be an acid test as to whether Canelo is still the man to beat at 168 pounds, as many feel that the time to pass the torch has come amid the rise of contenders such as Munguia, David Benavidez, and David Morrell. But Alvarez's annual Cinco de Mayo outing provides him with the perfect opportunity to silence his doubters. However, there is a notable absence of Mexicans on the Cinco de Mayo undercard that boasts 4 title fights and reads as follows: Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia, who will be contesting for the World Boxing Council, World Boxing Organization, World Boxing Association, and International Super Middleweight World titles. In the undercard, there's Brandon Figueroa versus Jesse Magdaleno, who will be fighting for the World Boxing Council Interim Featherweight World title. Also, there's the Mario Barrios versus Fabian Andres Maidana, fighting for the World Boxing Council Interim Welterweight World title. Finally, there's the Imanta Stanionis versus Gabriel Maestra, a World Boxing Association welterweight match. The arguable greatest prospect in America, 17-year-old Kermel Moten, was also expected to be added to the bill in due course, ahead of a mammoth event on May 4th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. However, that's been ruled out already. Preparing for the bout, Canelo Alvarez has been training intensely to avoid a defeat that would be the 3rd loss of his career. But more tragically, the defeat would see him lose all his belts and might be the moment where he sadly passes the torch and bids his days of world dominance a final farewell. Previously, Canelo Alvarez has been asked why he continued boxing, despite his many fights and achievements, but he's responded that his love for the sport is what keeps him going. "I love boxing," he said. While this love is truly real, many fans of Canelo would prefer that he doesn't quit with such a humiliating loss, but gracefully quits as a champion. Well, the outcome of events on the 4th of May has a heavy say on what Canelo Alvarez's future looks like. But before then, his biggest boxing foe, David Benavidez, has poked fun at Alvarez's training sessions. Questioning his techniques and anticipating a loss for him should he get into the ring with such a performance. On seeing Canelo Alvarez's training, Benavidez was caught on camera laughing at him, saying, "He does this and Munguia feasts all night. I get why he's running from me. He'll just keep running if he trains this way." And fans haven't sounded so pleased with David Benavidez, as they felt he was hating for absolutely no reason. On X, a fan wrote, "Benavidez is hating for no reason. He won't get into fights, and that's the fact." Another fan tweeted, "Nothing is wrong with this training, just focus on your matches. You won't fight Canelo Alvarez." One more boxing fan quipped, "This training you mock is what he'll use in defeating Munguia, and you're next after that." This recent reaction of David Benavidez came after the interim super middleweight champion, David Benavidez, claimed that Jaime Munguia has the style to defeat Canelo Alvarez ahead of the fight between the two Mexican stars, who will go head-to-head at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on the 4th of May. The monster Bandera Roja revealed Munguia has to throw combinations and then escape to the outside to keep from getting hit back by Canelo. Benavidez will be a keen observer as he eyes a potential future showdown with either Alvarez or Munguia. Arguably, the biggest fight for Saul right now remains Benavidez, who is a volume puncher fighter who poses the biggest threat to the Mexican. Speaking to ESPN about a potential showdown with the undisputed super middleweight champion, Benavidez said, "The reason why this fight is not happening is because Canelo doesn't want it to happen, plain and simple. I mean, the money is there. The anticipation from the fight fans is there. It would be an amazing event. Nevertheless, the 27-year-old will have to wait his turn for a shot at undisputed glory." The American says Munguia has to throw combinations and then escape to the outside to keep from getting hit back by Canelo when the pair face off in the ring next weekend. Benavidez believed that Munguia shouldn't fight Saul on the inside, as that's where he thrives. When asked if the Mexican can beat Canelo, the monster Bandera Roja told the Sean Zittel YouTube channel, "I think so. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight. Munguia is a strong fighter, he's a combination puncher, and if you see the fighters that give Canelo problems, they're combination punchers." Benavidez also mentioned that Munguia should tread carefully during the fight and be wary of avoiding punishment from Alvarez. He added, "The only thing Munguia has to do is keep his distance. He can't be on the inside against Canelo because that's what Canelo thrives at. He loves throwing body shots, he will find you. So he has to keep his distance, punch in combinations, and get away." Benavidez further stated that if Munguia is successful in avoiding punches, it would certainly take a heavy toll on Alvarez's performance. Moreover, he was also all praise for the sheer power behind Munguia's punches. "If he doesn't have to be there, then don't be there and receive unnecessary punishment. I've been watching Canelo for a long time. I've got a good game plan for him. If Munguia is able to do that, it's going to be a tough fight. Munguia can crack too. You could see that when he fought John Ryder. His power punching. It's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be easy like people say it is. Munguia is a tough fighter. He does get hit a lot, but sometimes in boxing, it's inevitable. You're going to get hit." Interestingly, David Benavidez appears to have accepted the reality of not securing a showdown with Saul Canelo Alvarez and has welcomed the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Jaime Munguia. Despite his persistent efforts to be recognized as a serious challenger to the Mexican champion, Canelo's position seems unwavering to Benavidez's disadvantage. As a result, in recent weeks, the Arizona native has shifted focus towards new challenges in the light heavyweight division. He has confirmed his next bout at 175 pounds against Ukrainian Oleksandr Gvozdyk, scheduled for June. Despite being named the WBC super middleweight mandatory challenger last year, a position that ultimately allowed Canelo to evade facing Benavidez without risking his title. For Benavidez, who has struggled to secure a match against Canelo, the situation has prompted him to pursue other avenues. The idea of facing Canelo was further complicated by the demand for a staggering $150 million purse by Benavidez for serious negotiations to proceed. Also, there's been an even more recent hindrance to the fight between Alvarez and Benavidez favors Benavidez, who is 6 years younger, 6 inches taller, possesses 4 inches of longer reach, and is naturally the bigger and faster fighter who appears more explosive. To curb the 33-year-old Alvarez's concerns, it was recently shared that Benavidez is open to a rehydration clause in the contract. However, Alvarez does not see any benefit in bullying Benavidez with weight stipulations. Yeah, a rehydration clause is a lose-lose situation because, after the fight, they are going to say it was because of this. And then what? And then what? Then you're going to talk about that clause. When I beat him, they are going to say it was because of the clause. Nothing to do with that fight, Alvarez said in an interview from his training camp home near Lake Tahoe, California.
When I say, they put me that clause, so nothing to do with that fight.
Seems like a rehydration clause would put you in a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
Never is enough for you guys, but I don't need to prove anything to anybody anymore. I've been done everything in my career.
Do you respect their opinion?
Much like Ryan Garcia pointed to his 136-pound catchweight and 10-pound rehydration clause as the main reason for getting knocked out by Gervonta Davis, Alvarez believes a similar narrative will be structured should he outlast Benavidez. Alvarez is definitely no stranger to weight clauses in big-time fights. When the still green Alvarez fought and suffered his first career loss to Floyd Mayweather Jr. In 2013, Alvarez was the World Boxing Council and World Boxing Association 154-pound champion at the time, but had to fight at a 152-pound catchweight. Mayweather forced the clause after originally requesting the fight to take place at 147 pounds and 150 pounds before settling at 152 pounds. Alvarez weighed 165 pounds on the night of the fight, while Mayweather weighed in at 150.5 pounds and fought at 150 pounds, and Alvarez had his very first loss on the night. Hence, he isn't on to favor such a clause. However, David Benavidez thinks he knows why Canelo Alvarez is ducking him. Last month, it was revealed that Benavidez would move up in weight to fight Alexander Gvozdyk for the interim 175-pound WBC title after not being able to secure a fight against the 168-pound champion Canelo. While speaking to the media at Jorge Masvidal Nate Diaz's press conference in Miami on Wednesday, Benavidez revealed why he decided to move up in weight. "I don't know what Canelo wants to do. I was the #1 contender to fight for the belt. I've been waiting 3 years. He didn't want to give me the opportunity, so I had to move up. I got tired of waiting. I want to give the fans all the best fights, and if he doesn't want to fight me, I had to move up in weight to find other fights." Benavidez believed Canelo doesn't want to fight him because he knows he will lose.
If you had Canelo sit in front of you right now, what would you say to him?
I'm not scared of nobody. I've hurt everybody that's been in front of me, and Canelo's no different. And I will hurt him too, and I'll take all his belts.
I think he already knows what's going to happen when he fights me. I'm younger, stronger, faster, and he knows it very well. And I think that's the reason that he doesn't want to fight me. In the past, despite being 6 years the undisputed champions junior, Benavidez has rarely spoken respectfully of his rival, meaning the pound-for-pound superstar might yet break one of the unwritten rules of his world-ruling career. The intrigue and war of words around a potential Canelo versus Benavidez started inadvertently. Canelo was discussing the meeting between his conqueror and WBA light heavyweight champion Dimitri Bivol and Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. "If it's Zurdo who wins the fight, I don't want to fight with Mexicans. I represent Mexico," Alvarez told USA Today. "I think Zurdo has a chance to win, and I want him to win." Canelo made these comments in the build-up to his trilogy fight against Gennady Golovkin, and it was ultimately a moot point as Bivol boxed masterfully in Abu Dhabi last November to beat Ramirez via a wide unanimous decision, but the remarks were seized upon by Benavidez. "To be honest, I feel like I'm Mexican and Ecuadorian, but I was born in the US. I feel like he's just talking about his countrymen, people from Mexico," he told a news source. "I get a lot of criticism too, people saying he's American, not Mexican. That comment Canelo made, it's not for me. I'm not 100% Mexican. I'm Mexican and Ecuadorian, and I was born in the US. I feel like if he's not going to fight any more Mexicans, then what's going on? I have the World Boxing Council interim belt. We have rankings for a reason. I've earned my spot repeatedly. I won 2 title eliminators. It's not my fault that these freaking guys don't want to fight me. I don't want to keep talking and talking because we all look like freaking idiots. The walls are closing in for these fighters.
Yeah, I've been watching Canelo for a long time, so I got a good game plan for him. But if Munguia is able to do that, then it's going to be a tough.
Even though Benavidez also named the likes of Jermall Charlo, David Morrell, and Plant in this diatribe, he certainly caught Canelo's attention. I don't know, anything can happen, Canelo said when asked about a potential Benavidez fight in the aftermath of dominating Golovkin. When I say I don't want to fight Mexicans, it's because I represent Mexico. That's why. But I don't care. I'll fight anybody. My entire life, I'll fight anybody. Of course, when Canelo started his career, he boxed a string of compatriots. It is true, though, that since moving to world level, he has boxed Mexicans sparingly.
When I say I don't want to fight Mexican, it's because I represent Mexico. And that's why. But I don't care. I fight anybody. And I fight all my entire life anybody. What do you think? I don't want to fight with Juan Mexico or Benavidez.
Most recently, he faced Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in a money-spinning grudge match in 2017, one of only 3 Mexican foes faced since winning a maiden world title against Matthew Hatton back in March 2011. Beating Alfonso Gomez in the second defense of that World Boxing Council super welterweight belt was the only all-Mexican affair involving Canelo for a world title. A bout against Alfredo Angulo immediately after his loss to Floyd Mayweather Jr. And the Chavez showdown were each non-title fights. It's not just Benavidez the fighter trying to prompt Canelo to change course. His father has been part of a 2-pronged attack. Once again, it has not gone unnoticed. Benavidez Sr.'s most notable goading of Canelo came during the build-up to his son's fight with Plant. I consider Canelo, with all due respect, done as a fighter. Jose Benavidez Sr. told a news source, he is worn out. First, we saw him with a knee injury, and now he injured his hand. Now we can see that Canelo is starting to drink. He is beginning to enjoy life. But he has all the right to do that because he has been a very disciplined fighter. He has many businesses now and is not focused 100% on boxing. Now he is playing golf, which requires time and dedication. I think Canelo should stay at golf and start a career there. I have heard that he is very good at golf. There is no age limit to play that sport. But Canelo was fierce in his response as well. I hear his dad talking a lot of stuff, but look what he's accomplished. Nothing, Alvarez said, failing to hide his disdain in his post-Golovkin briefing. One single champion, Anthony Durrell. Please, I want to respect myself. Please, guys. Asked what Benavidez might do next, he replied, I don't freaking care. But Canelo also faced his son as well. While many have accused Alvarez of ducking Benavidez to fight Munguia, he revealed that the fight had nothing new to offer him.
Been fighting, so that's why I'm here.
Does Ryan beat Devin, in your opinion, Canelo, if he's okay, like mentally?
He's 100% yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Canelo.
Benavidez brings nothing to the table for me. He brings just 25 pounds more on that night. That's it. It's not him because he has nothing to offer me. Anything. I'm the one, he said during his kickoff presser. But if one promoter who I work with comes and offers me $150 million to $200 million, I'll fight tomorrow. That's the only reason I would fight with him, because the only thing he brings to the table is 25 pounds. However, more recently, the president of the World Boxing Council clarified the situation. World Boxing Council President Mauricio Sulaiman recently commented on why Canelo Alvarez did not fight against David Benavidez only a few days before his fight against Jaime Munguia on May 4th in Las Vegas. Mauricio Sulaiman explained that David Benavidez will be able to decide if he wants to fight Canelo, saying, "There is a broad ignorance of the technical of the regulations." According to Sulaiman, David Benavidez won the official challenger position in March of last year, and it takes a year for that order to become effective. Then before March of this year, Benavidez had already been signed at 175 pounds. No order, no rule has been broken. Benavidez is gone, he's still the official challenger at 168 pounds. The card for the mandatory fight should have come out before Benavidez decided to fight at semi-complete weight, one division up for an interim title. Benavidez will decide if he wants to be the official challenger at 175 or 168. Nothing was broken, but this is a story that caused a lot of controversy and that fed Canelo's naysayers or the council or boxing, clarified Suleiman, and accepted that the WBC protects Canelo as all bodies do with their champions. Suleiman also claimed WBC protects Canelo, revealing, "Of course we protect him, just as we protect all our champions, all our boxers." Saul has shown throughout his career that he is someone who has earned the recognition of being the #1 boxer in the world, to be the highest paid, the biggest attraction around the world. About this Saturday's fight at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Mauricio Suleiman commented that Munguia has arguments to take advantage of Canelo's natural decline. "For me, it's likely it's a very thin line. You never know when that baton will be passed. Canelo has been seen moving slowly. He has looked tired in the last rounds. He throws a few punches. He manages his timing very well." While the predictions of many have been very mixed and quite on both sides, Canelo highlighted the fact that he has chosen Munguia, as he considers that this will allow to see two fighters disputing 4 world titles. "I think he has earned it with the fights he has done, the person he is, and it also gives me a lot of pride to be able to say that another Mexican earned the opportunity. It is the first time in history that we are going to see 2 Mexicans fighting for the 4 world titles, and that makes me very proud." Saul added, "And I think he is a strong fighter who has a winning mentality. I think the 2 mentalities that will meet on May 4th is a guarantee of a great fight. It's a winner-takes-all fight, and the world of boxing can't wait for it." But what are your thoughts on Benavidez's mockery of Canelo's training sessions? Was it really worth it? Let's know in the comments section, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Until next time, peace out.